Well, it's got a defined resource. It's multi-element, and it's all critical raw materials. So niobium, tantalum, rare earths, and zirconium as well. And so it's a suite of metals that are of high economic importance at the moment. Three of those, rare earths, niobium, and tantalum, are on pretty much everyone's critical minerals list.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Alba Mineral Resources Executive Chairman George Frangiskidis. George, very good to speak with you. For viewers not familiar with the company, tell us more about Alba Mineral Resources and what you do.
Sure. Good to speak to you, Stephen. So we've been heavily in gold in the UK for some years. We're redeveloping and putting back into production the Clogau gold mine in Wales and a suite of other projects and prospects on the Dolgellau Gold Belt that's also in the same area in North Wales, where we have exclusive rights. At the same time, we've made a move recently into the critical raw materials space with the Finnsbo Örnen project. That's a very high-grade prospect, rare earth prospect in Sweden. And this week, we've just announced an acquisition of a majority stake in a very large-scale advanced rare earth project and other critical minerals project in Greenland called Motzfeldt.
And thank you. Say the Motzfeldt acquisition is transformational. What attracted Alba to the project, and why is it such a strategic acquisition?
Well, it's got a defined resource. It's multi-element, and it's all critical raw materials. So niobium, tantalum, rare earths, and zirconium as well. And so it's a suite of metals that are of high economic importance at the moment. Three of those, rare earths, niobium, and tantalum, are on pretty much everyone's critical minerals list: the UK, EU, US, etc., etc. So the sourcing of sustainable and effectively non-Chinese supply of those critical raw materials is absolutely essential to Western governments. It's very attractive for us to be in this space because we can attract, and we think we can attract, government and other public institutional funding. We've had that experience on the GreenRoc side already, and more to come, I'm sure, on that side. And so we know full well that there's a lot of money available to fund these projects and get them into production. So that's very attractive to us in an environment where we do not believe we get sufficient or sensible valuations on the public markets currently when we're doing capital raising. So that is one critical element of why we're in this project. The other one, it's large scale. It's in Greenland. It's equidistant, essentially, between the US and the UK EU markets, which are obviously the massive markets for critical raw materials. There's a huge amount of interest in Greenland. Its mineral wealth, obviously, we know President Trump is particularly interested in that, but it's not just him. It's not just the US. The EU is making big steps to increase its profile and connections to Greenland, and other countries are doing the same. So it's strategically very important as a jurisdiction. This is a very large-scale project and has a lot more still potential on site that has yet to be really properly investigated and tapped. So it's a very exciting project.
You've also highlighted your experience operating in Greenland. How does that give you a head start in developing Motzfeldt?
Well, because we've worked in Greenland since 2016. I mean, Alba was had originally the portfolio of assets that went into GreenRoc. I mean, we basically seeded GreenRoc. We have run 3 drilling programs in Greenland, so we know how to operate there. It's not strategically, sorry, it's not the easiest place, logistically, I should say, to work, but we know how to operate there. We know how to get things done. We know all the right contractors, and we know how to just move forward, and maximize time on site during the summer field seasons and so on. And that's very important. So it holds no fears for us, and we're excited by getting into the new site there as soon as possible.
Can you walk us through the near-term work program at Motzfeldt and what kind of news flow investors can expect this year?
Well, we've got, in fact, the operator Elemental is already on site. So there'll be news coming out of that imminently. So that's very exciting. So they're already boots on the ground doing sampling up at the new prospect, newish prospect, should I say, Merino. It's not even the JORC deposit, but it's a kilometre away from the JORC deposit. And we think it's another Aries, which is the JORC deposit. So potentially could be joining the dots there very soon and having a much bigger, even larger scale project on our hands. So there'll be news coming out of that field program very shortly. and we're going to be moving into a MET test work program. So the previous field program, or one of the previous field programs, took a bulk sample of 2.5 tons, and that's going to be processed by us now in the near future. Metallurgical test work is very important in the critical materials space. So there has been a lot of that work done in the past, but not updated. So we'll be updating that. It's very important to see what mix of these critical raw materials, niobium, tantalum, zirconium, rare earths, we can get out and recover from the Aries deposit. So that's going to be a lot of the focus in the near term.
Well, George, I hope you'll keep us updated on progress at the new project. Thank you very much for taking the time to speak with us today.
Thanks so much, Stephen.
George Frangiskidis, Executive Chairman of Alba Mineral Resources.